Good morning.
Carlington Booch Day, Carlington Booch Day. We're mirroring each other. We have the mirror effect
Wearing
going.
the same shirt.
Welcome to the Ashes Rubies podcast and live stream where we talk a lot about recovery and a little bit about life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we go. Do you ever wake up thinking, I'm going to crush this day?
Sometimes I do, yes.
Well, sometimes I wake up, this day's going to crush me, but I'm not going to let it. Do you ever have the voices of a movie character in your head? I was reminded today, there are certain phrases or lines in a movie. I don't remember movies or songs really.
You do.
Not really
way
good.
more than
No,
I do.
I have friends that can quote movies all day long. You do. You are one of my friends that can quote one movie all day long. Little Mermaid. You can sing all the songs. That was your movie. But I do it all the time. Like every morning I drink my water, and the thing that comes out of my mouth is that's some good fresh H2O. Do you know what movie that's from?
No.
I didn't do his voice, but that is from The Water Boy. Fresh.
Oh, Adam
H2O.
Sandler.
Adam Sandler. And then the other one, because you know I love cracked pepper. I have a pepper mill.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Saturday Night Live where he was the pepper boy and he was training to be the pepper boy and he had trouble saying fresha pepper. Fresha peppy.
You really like Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler is like, it's a home run or he gets hit with a baseball. Like there are some movies that will last in my memory forever. And there are some movies of like, what happened? Like, why are you doing this? It doesn't make sense at any level. But there's brilliance and then there's belly flops. But I guess, yeah, that's my own opinion. I am neither Siskel nor Ebert. Can you think of one line of a movie that sticks in your mind?
Just Little Mermaid.
Now it's just...
I could recite the whole movie if you want me to.
I know. I have watched it with you. There's another movie that clip.
It's sad going with little kids. We were at the zoo. And I'm like, Hakuna Matata. And the kids didn't get it.
Oh.
I'm like, look, guys, it's a warthog. What's the matter? What's the matter with you?
There you go. You got lines.
They did not.
You got lines all day. No, they don't watch the line.
I think that they're just too young to like have it memorized. But also, I suspect that there is so much variety available now that kids don't watch.
We had like one thing.
Yeah, well, we had Disney.
And now, like with
or Mickey Mouse.
With all the information that we have now, who's your friend that does the cool podcast? He's very brilliant. He was a writer in the New York Times.
Oh, right. My friend
Malcolm Gladwell. Malcolm Gladwell is brilliant.
Destroyed Little Mermaid.
And he destroyed Little Mermaid. Like, destroyed it.
And he was right.
And
he's entirely right about Little Mermaid.
So right. It's horrible.
And I was horrified.
Kids should not be looking at it. And I went downstairs because we do have a collection.
Yeah.
And I looked at the Little Mermaid front cover. Like, there's 100%. Can you say penis online? Yeah.
No, you can't.
Okay. There is.
We knew that. We knew that already.
Like, it's real.
We knew that we had that.
Anyway, that's very interesting. I shouldn't have said it anyway. I don't like it when I say it.
You could have just said a phallic symbol.
A phallic symbol.
An inappropriate image.
It's highly inappropriate in the C structure of the kingdom of the Little Mermaid.
And it's not worth any money because a dog chewed it.
Yeah. So if you are looking at robbing my house,
the
Malcolm Gladwell, he talks about the Little Mermaid, and it's a 2-part thing. That was my introduction to Malcolm Gladwell, and I was just like, it blew my mind. He's brilliant. All right, but
you should listen to more of his books. They're very good.
More of his books?
Yeah.
I thought I just listened to his podcast.
No, he has a podcast, but he has books, and if you get the audio book, they're so good.
I love it when writers narrate their own book. Here we go.
Narrate someone else's book for
us. August 15.
Can you do that for us?
Here we go. Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. And we can talk about what that means. Commencing to drink after a period of sobriety, we are in a short term as bad as ever. If we have admitted we are alcoholics, we must have no reservations of any kind. nor any lurking notion that someday we will be immune to alcohol. What sort of thinking dominates an alcoholic who repeats time after time the desperate experiment of the first drink, or adrenaline, or online clicking, or shopping, or food, fill in the blank? Parallel with sound reasoning, there inevitably runs some insanely trivial excuse for taking that first drink. There is little thought of what the terrific consequences may be. Question: have I given up all excuses for taking a drink? We enter that state of mind called suddenly. Suddenly, there I was doing what I didn't want to do. Where two or three are banded together, there I will be in the midst of them. That's a Bible quote. When God finds two or three people in union who only want his will to be done, who want only to serve him, he has a plan that can be revealed to them. The grace of God can come to people who are together in one place with one accord. What's one accord mean? Like one purpose?
Yes.
A union like this is a miracle working. Is like a miracle working.
Mm-hmm.
God is able to use such people. Only good can come through such consecrated people brought together in unified groups for a single purpose of a single mind. So the first one is, once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. I know that the Christian world is up in storm with that. But I would come to consider that, like, if you have diabetes, some people have diabetes for the rest of their life and they have to take a certain medication. So you could say, I am diabetic, or I have diabetes and I have to plan my life accordingly. So what I would say is, I'm a recovered alcoholic, which means that I will never safely be able to consume alcohol or any mind-altering drugs safely ever in my life.
Well, I would say that there's lots of things that, as if you want to talk about the church and the Christian world, there's lots of things that, when I choose that I want to actually live my life for God's purposes, not for my own purposes, there's a lot of things that I actually cannot, should not, and will not do.
Mm-hmm.
There's choices that I made of like, oh, actually, I don't want to live my life like this anymore. I actually want to live my life like this. And alcohol can just be one of those.
Alcohol, yeah,
as
because
an alcoholic, because you're actually
we are supporting an industry,
and you're turning from lots of other things too.
Yeah, but I was just focused on the word alcoholic,
Yeah,
because in the Christian world that would be one impediment to the 12-step fellowship. And the reality is the first drink is the only real problem, or the first click, or the first thought of, like, that's where it slides into going, I am not like other people, or it's been a year, maybe I can go back to whatever. The thing is, the key is that in recovery, I have a new life. And so if I'm trying to fit the old life into my new life, then it's going to be burdensome. It's going to be stressful. There's going to be anxiety. And that's where my mind, all of a sudden, I think doing this or drinking this or looking at this is going to relieve that pressure, which it does very drastically, very quickly. And then it causes way more trouble. I like how they go into the solution of people wanting a relationship and the power of God in their lives for the purpose of revealing that to others. I think that's really cool. So how do I get the power of God? I have to be willing to be an empty vessel, to leave my old life, to have the power of God to reveal his glory and his purpose to the people around. And I think it's as simple as that. And I think that's cool. Like, we can come together in one, what do they say? Single purpose. That's an interesting. Only good can come through such consecrated people. What's consecrated mean?
Like given over. I believe it's
so kind of like communion bread.
Yeah.
Like, it's just bread, but we consecrate it for the purpose of God.
Yeah.
So being consecrated, we can be consecrated for the purpose of God, brought together in unified groups. So that's could be a 12-step fellowship. That could be a church group. That could be that kind of fellowship. Unified groups for a single purpose. So what's our single purpose?
To be a real help to others.
Yeah. to guiding people, and I know what you mean by that, to guide people into a relationship with God, to receive the power of God in their lives for the same purpose and of a single mind. And so that speaks to me of unity. So how do they know us? By love and unity.
Love and unity.
Yeah. May you walk in that today. Prayer for today. I pray that I may be part of a unified group. I pray that I may contribute my share to its consecrated people. Man, a bunch of people coming together for one reason. May you find it now. Amen. Keep the peace and be of good behavior. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining.